Shout out to my subscribers. Shout out to my new subscribers.
Yeah, JB in the building. Cowboy fan, but he keep it real, no filter. West Coast knock with that Lone Star pain. Talking truth, why they sugarcoat the game. JB on the mic, yeah, he spitting that truth, silver and blue, but he ain't wearing nose tinted view. Sunday pain got him leaning in the booth, breaking down plays while they feed us the spoof. Shotty on the sideline, looking lost in the sauce, too soft with the cause, yeah, he scared of the cost. Whining in the press, never taking a loss, but the locker room weak when the leader ain't boss. JB wanted tape, calling plays out loud, like what kind of system make a fan this proud? Turn critic real quick, now he drawing that crowd, cause he say what they think but won't say it out loud. JB say straight, no cap in his tone. Cowboys looking shaky, yeah, he letting it be known. From the playbook week to the contracts blown, he gon' speak that truth every time he on the phone. JB say straight, yeah, he keep it raw. If you riding for the star, better peep that flaw. Ain't no blind faith when you seen it all fall. He a Cowboy fan, but he question it all. Dak on the center, but the fire ain't lit. Big game moments and he never quite fit. Stats look clean, but the wins don't hit. Playoff time come, yeah, it all go split. JB say, man, I've been watching too long. Same script every year, same tired song. Big check sign, but the roster go wrong. While the real top dogs keep moving on strong. No big names coming, just hype and a dream. Draft night misses got him losing his steam. First round bust got him ready to scream. Like how we rebuild when we stuck in between. He ain't hating now, he just tired of the spin. Every offseason promised in the same old end. JB say loud, yeah, the future look bleak. Same QB story, same cycle every week. No elite moves, just a talking cheap. While the real contenders stacking up deep. JB say loud, he ain't buying a hype. Contracts bloated, yeah, the math ain't right. From the front office down to game night. He a Cowboy fan, but he ready to fight. JB sitting back like, man, what it gon' take? Years going by, still the same mistake. But around mediocrity, call it a stake. In the heart of the fans, every season they break. Shotty still soft, act still the same. Front office moving like it's all a game. No aggression in the moves, no hunger for fame. Just collecting them checks while they ruin the name. JB got the podcast buzzing every night. Fans tune in cause he keep it airtight. No sugarcoat takes, just facts in a fight for a team that ain't been built right. He still rock the star, but his trust real low. Till they change that core, he ain't switching his tone. From the mic to the screen, yeah, the whole world know JB the Cowboy fan, keep exposing the show. JP keep it real, yeah, he still gon' ride. But he calling out the flaws, they be trying to hide. No blind love, just the truth with pride. Through the lows and the doubt, yeah, he still gon' ride. JP keep it real, that's the code he live. If the team don't change, ain't no hope to give. But he stay on the mic, got the truth to give. He a Cowboy fan, that's the life he lives.
Yeah, truth over hype, every time. JB the Cowboy fan, speaking for the real ones. Yeah. Shout out to my subscribers. Shout out to my new subscribers. Yeah.
Yo, what's good? What's good, everybody? Appreciate y'all for jumping in with me tonight, man. I cut it close because I had to work at 12 today unexpectedly. I was gonna go at 6, so I had to change it to 9. But I'm here. Miss Matrix, I see you. Yeah, you the first one. You the first one tonight, Miss Matrix. Yeah, I appreciate you for stopping by. You know I love that feminine energy when you bring it in here. You know that. Ready to get on our nerves as usual, huh? Okay, man, and another one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. DK, Dak is a better pure passer than Hurts, but can't lie. I'll take Hurts any day over Dak, especially against a great defense. We're going to get into the numbers, man. We're going to get into the numbers. Both of them face Minnesota. We're going to get into them numbers. And he Jet the Barbarian. What's happening, bro? Hurts had the only perfect pass rating of the season versus the Vikings, 4th ranked pass defense. Case closed. Hold up, I gotta bring this. Hold up, let me see if I got my I meant to bring this shit up and have it up there. See, nope. Let me see, hold up, y'all. Let me see if I pull up the right shit. I don't think this is it.
Clarence Hill dealerless Cowboys. Dak, what were they doing defensively? Just keep the lid on it and seem like frustrate your offense.
Yeah, the zero that we talked about just throughout the week gave it to us.
Hold up before I get to that. Just before I get to that, see, that was the post game interview after that game. But I'm gonna hold tight on that. This shit. What up, Cool G? What's happening? Willie Wonka. What it do, bro? Appreciate you. Man, Willie Wonka, long time listener, long time follower, been down for since the beginning of this thing, bro. I appreciate you, Willie. What up, JB and Fuzz? Thanks for your prayers for my wife. Ruled out a stroke. It's migraines. Oh, man, that's good, man. Gotta get another clap for that, bro. Yeah. Hey, Willie, my wife be going through migraines too, bro. Yeah. I don't know what it is. You know, I guess, women, they go through a lot, health-wise and stuff as they age. I know we do too, but yeah, they go through a lot of different changes as they get a little older, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to you and your wife, man. Glad it's just, something minor y'all can, you know what I'm saying, work together on and get it right. Cool G, that doesn't throw with anticipation. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You stressing her out? Hold on, Miss Major said prayers up to your wife, man. But you need to chill out then, bro. You need to chill the fuck out, man. But yeah, back to Cool G, yeah, man. That doesn't throw with anticipation. Well, yeah, let me go ahead and cut this little interview after this Vikings game, and then I'm gonna get into them numbers, bro. Cause, bro, people want and some of the hate going towards Jalen Hurts right now. I don't even really understand it, man. I mean, man, I don't like the Eagles, but man, I gotta give props when props is due. And I can't be no phony like that, man. I can't even. This shit it wouldn't even sit right in my spirit to not acknowledge what Jalen Hurts has done for the Eagles versus what Dak has done for the Cowboys, man. I'm sorry. It ain't giving no big ups to the Eagles and all that shit. This is just about because I had some Dak fanboy Slurpees come at me about hating on the black quarterback. And at the same time, I'm giving props to Jalen Hurts. So that's their projection and how they emotionally feel about Dak Prescott. See, I could be a realistic. I'm a sports fan. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I like basketball, football, baseball. I never played soccer, but I can respect the game. I didn't play no tennis professionally, but what they call it, recreational. I played a little tennis. You know what I'm saying? I respect sports in itself. Hockey, I don't play hockey, but I respect the game. You know what I'm saying? I respect the players that get out there and do what they do. Gretzky and all those, you know what I'm saying? Big time players like that. I don't watch it like that. I play baseball. I'm a baseball fan. I respect winners. I respect a leader taking charge on your team and getting them over the hump. Not just some feel good stories and shit. You feel me? No, that ain't how I roll. Hell no. What up, George? Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man, stopping by. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Willie. Yeah. you need to chill out. Miss Major. Now we've seen that throw in stride plenty. What? He's thrown some passes in stride. I give him that. I'm not saying, but ultimately, when it needed to get done, he don't do it. Nah. Okay, man, that throws where someone is and not where he's going to be. Let me get into this. let me get this. Let me get this clip up here, bro. Hold on. Let me see. Let me get this shit up.
A bunch. We didn't have a good enough answer, and when you don't have a good enough answer for that, especially against Flores, you're going to see it again and again. And
hold up, bro. Hold up. See, this is him, right? This is him after that Vikings game. Now, mind you, they had a week to prepare for this. Now, listen to him talk about the Vikings after we played.
Clarence Hill deal of us Cowboys. Dak, what were they doing defensively? Just keep the lid on it and seem like frustrate your offense.
yeah, the zero that we talked about just throughout the week gave it to us a bunch. We didn't have a good enough answer, and when you don't have a good enough answer, especially against Flores, you're seeing it. And yeah, that's what happened. They did a great job of the back end, right, playing with vision. So it made it tough to get to the beaters, normal zero beaters when they're playing man, looking at the man, but they're looking at the quarterback. And so, they're going to rally when you throw it underneath, and you don't have time to get it past them. And they did a good job. They kept it on us, and we didn't adjust fast enough or come up with something good enough to scare them out of it. And we saw it the whole game.
He said, now after him and Shotty had a week to prepare for Brian Flores Vikings defense, and he already said it. You know what you're gonna get when you go up against Brian Flores, and it, you know what I'm saying, when you go against him and his defense. They had a whole week to prepare, still didn't figure the shit out. They had the game, didn't figure it out in the game. But y'all want me to believe that this is the most clutch quarterback in the league, that we got a coach that's changed the culture. Meanwhile, let me do this. Hold on. Let me go. No. Hold on. Let me go back. My bad, y'all. My bad. We gotta do this one more time. We gotta do it one more time.
Deal of us Cowboys. Dak, what were they doing defensively? Just keep the lid on it and seem like frustrate your offense.
Yeah, the zero that we talked about just throughout the week gave it to us a bunch. We didn't have a good enough answer, and when you don't have a good enough answer for that, especially against Flores, you're going to see it again and again. And yeah, that's what happened. They did a great job of the back end, right, playing with vision. So it made it tough to get to the beaters, normal zero beaters when they're playing man, looking at the man, but they're looking at the quarterback. And so, they're going to rally when you throw it underneath, and you don't have time to get it past them. And they did a good job. They kept it on us, and we didn't adjust fast enough or come up with something good enough to scare them out of it. And we saw it the whole game.
You talked earlier this week.
So I'm supposed to believe in this quarterback. I'm supposed to put him over 5 other quarterbacks. Really over I want to say 11, 12 more quarterbacks. And this guy still couldn't figure out how to read a cover zero deep. But let's look at what Jalen Hurts did against that Vikings defense. Let's do that. Can we do that one time? Let's get you off of there. Hold up. 4K on the beat. Hold up, my bad. Let's look at what Jalen Hurts did. Jalen Hurts was 19 for 23, 326 yards. Average pass was 14 yards. 3 TDs, no picks. Had a perfect passer rating. A perfect passer rating versus that Vikings defense. What? Jalen Hurts can't pass the ball? He can't throw deep? The man had a perfect passer rating against that zero cover defense that Dak Prescott and goddamn Brian Schottenheimer could not figure out anything. They couldn't come up with anything to beat it. They couldn't make in-game adjustments. They didn't see what they was doing in the game, where they could do this to it or that to it. You want me to believe in this quarterback? Now, this right here, I mean, what is that hate on Jalen Hurts when he put up these numbers against a defense that Dak Prescott couldn't even figure out? A week in advance, excuse me, he already know the history of Flores. So you had a whole week to prepare with your head coach, who you vouched for. And between y'all two, y'all couldn't figure out shit to the point where you didn't score a touchdown. You didn't throw no picks, but you didn't throw a touchdown, Dak Prescott. You didn't throw a touchdown. Let's look at Dak numbers. Let me bring this shit up. Let's look at Dak numbers. 23 for 38. He shouldn't even be throwing the ball over goddamn 25, 27 times. Threw the ball way more than Jalen Hurts and still had less yards, 294. An average throw was 7.7 yards, so he almost threw the ball 8 yards to throw, while Jalen Hurts threw it 14 yards to throw. Had no TDs, had no picks, but you didn't have no touchdowns, Dak Prescott. How is you a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts? You couldn't figure out how to beat the cover zero defense. Bro, where y'all Dak fanboy Slurpees at? Explain this shit. Had a passer rating of 84.8, a QBR of 65.9. He couldn't throw a touchdown. $60 million quarterback. The most clutch in the league. Number 6 at the top 10 out of all quarterbacks. And you couldn't figure out the cover zero, but Jalen Hurts did. Jalen Hurts figured that shit out. He ripped that shit to shreds. Ripped it to shreds. And I'm supposed to believe in this guy. Man, get the fuck out of here. Peter Walker, what it do? Salute, JB. I'm an Eagles fan. I'm so excited about the new offense. Hey, bro, y'all, I mean, I can't stand y'all, bro. But I got to give respect where respect is due. That's just how I am. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I am. I want to see what y'all gonna do with that rookie receiver. Y'all picked up a few receivers too, Peter. Y'all might have a tight little receiving core. This is gonna be Jalen Hurts' second year under this OC. The man that had a different OC every year of his career. Several different head coaches. Still went to a Super Bowl twice. MVP of one and won one. And I'm supposed to believe in Dak Prescott, who's had the same fucking offense since Jason Garrett. Okay, man, Dak throws were some. Yeah, I read that. My bad. DK. Because Jalen had a great day against the Vikings doesn't mean Jalen is a better thrower of the ball. But you asked me to choose, I'll take hers. Jalen is a smart QB with his mobility. I'm not saying he's a better thrower. My point is, it's something about Jalen Hurts where he figures shit out and win. It's something about him. It's something about his mental fortitude where he do whatever it takes to get the W at the end of the motherfucking day. I don't think Jalen Hurts is a prolific thrower of the ball. But Jalen Hurts got heart. He got heart, bro. And that what to me, that what matters over everything. Heart. Determination. I hate to lose. He hates to lose. Not that Prescott, he don't give a fuck about losing. He don't give a fuck about losing. That's what I'm talking about. You feel me? That's what I'm talking about, DK. Okay, man, Dak anticipates where the defender is. Dak is Christ. What's up, Dallas fan? We pray to our Lord and Savior, Dak is Christ. Willy Wonka, my spirit feels that Dak will fake another injury. Remember, we heard knee soreness in OTA. Yeah, he got fluid on his knee. Mm-hmm. Blaze, what's happening, Blaze? Man, you one of my statisticians, man. I appreciate you for coming up in here, man. Yeah. When I need some stats, I'm gonna holler at you, Blaze. Betting the Dolphins get a playoff win before the Cowboys. Dolphins did a massive fire sale this offseason, loaded up with draft picks, moved on to a new QB, and had $100 million in cap space in 2027. God damn, that's management. That's starting at the top. God damn. Hey, who's the quarterback? Blaze. Who I, who they signed that quarterback for the Dolphins? I know it's a familiar quarterback. I just can't remember who it was. Unfortunately. Dallas fan Blaze, don't speak blasphemy on the Lord and Savior Dak Christ. Hey, Willie Walker, wanna be Nino Brown looking ass. This dude is actor. Boy, I love it. I love it when y'all come in the chat like that. Cool G, he always throws someone under the bus when he does not perform well. Yeah, he threw the whole defense under the bus this past season. Willie Wonka, damn, I wish someone come up with a Make-Wish slap foundation. I would donate a lot of money just to slap the shit on the tag. Somebody need to slap his ass when he in these interviews saying the same bullshit. Need to wake his ass up and tell the truth. How many times he done said we going to the Super Bowl? He said that when he had an interview with goddamn Troy Aikman. Then he said when the Rams game, I think it was a preseason or something, he talking about we're gonna see you in the NFC Championship game last year. Then he told your girl, I forget her name, he had an interview with her. She analyst or commentator, one of these damn 4 and 3-letter networks. Told her we're gonna see you in the Super Bowl, what, 2020, 2025? Yeah. Hey, man, please. Man, please, Blaze. Can't read defense, but he's amazing reading scripts, man. Oh shit! And memorizing the same old meaningless talk, such as telling the Rams, "Yeah, or it was, yeah, right, exactly." Okay, man, but Hurst is just a running. Yeah, he's just a running quarterback. Blaze with his 2 playoff win during the headlight, looking. Dallas man, Dak is the disciples. Brian Schottenheimer. Hey, man, he vouched for Saudi. He vouched for Saudi, and neither one of them could figure out how to beat that cover 0 defense, bro. Neither one of them could figure it out. Are you kidding me? Cool G, that equal no big wins. 0 big wins. 0 big wins. Willie Wonka, I'll take Hurts over Dak all day and every day. We almost drafted him until Philly moved up over us to get him. Yep. Jerry Jones said that. He was looking at trying to draft Hurts. Boy, what if you would have did that? You talking about some real competition. But see, that's what I'm talking about. Competition behind Dak Prescott. The Eagles realized with Carson Wentz injuries, he wasn't going to get it done. It wasn't going to work out. They drafted goddamn Hurts. And when the shit failed, they put him in there. The man has been to the playoffs every season since he's been a starter. And went to 2 Super Bowls and won 1. I mean, what the fuck more can you ask for? He stepped up when he didn't have a running game in the Super Bowl. Made the key throws, made the key runs. The running back didn't even score a touchdown. Jalen Hurts had a rushing touchdown, and I think, what, two passing touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns, and won the fucking Super Bowl. I just don't understand the shit, the hate that he's getting. I don't get it, bro. And if you look at goddamn Jalen Hurts, man, I know this is just one game, but god damn, bro. The shit they talk about how good Dak Prescott is, and they went up against the same opponent in the same year, and this dude went 19 for 23, 326 yards. Every throw he made was over 14 yards. Had three touchdowns, zero picks, three touchdowns, zero picks, with a perfect passer rating, a QBR of 96.2, 158.3 passer rating, versus the same defense that Dak say he is familiar with. Had a whole week to prepare with the culture changing new head coach Schottenheimer. And if you look at it, not only really this game, if you look at the season with Dak versus good teams, that's how he played. He didn't throw no touchdowns against the Broncos, and he had 2 picks versus the Broncos, but he's the number 1 clutch quarterback in the league. Man, Dallas fan, don't forget the Cowboys fan. Down the Vikings throat deep the Eagles. Hold on. Don't forget the Cowboys fan. Down the Vikings throat the Eagles. I'm not understanding your question, Dallas fan. Maybe it's me. Who only had 45 yards, Dallas fan? Blaze. Think they brought in Sam Howell just to give confidence to Bland. Ooh, Bland got his pick. Girl. Can't even ring in a quality QB to push this bum ass. Nope. When there's other teams that brought in, even got down the Rams this year brought in the quarterback. They know what time with Matthew Stafford. He might take him to an NFC championship this year, but they know at some point in time they need a young buck coming up to be able to take the reins. Because Matthew Stafford ain't gonna be there for long. Dak Prescott ain't gonna be here for long, but we so dumb, we ain't even trying to bring up a young buck that's gonna contend for that number 1 spot playing the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Willie Wonka, Dak has single-handedly both divided our team and fan base. Yep. That's why I say he's a cancer. He's a cancer to this team, bro. Catlin, what to do? Anything to fit your narrative, JB. This ain't even about my narrative. I mean, I read off the stats. I told you, hold on. Let me play what Dak said again then. Since you want to, you know what I'm saying, fit my narrative. This is what he said about meeting that defense. He already knew, but still couldn't figure it out. And you getting mad at me, Catlin?
Clarence
You
Hill
get
deal
mad.
with Cowboys. Dak, what were they doing defensively? Just keep the lid on it and seem like frustrate your offense.
Yeah, the zero that we talked about just throughout the week gave it to us a bunch. We didn't have a good enough answer, and when you don't have a good enough answer for that, especially against Flores, you're going to see it again and again. And yeah, that's what happened. They did a great job of the back end, right, playing with vision. So it made it tough to get to the beaters, normal zero beaters when they're playing man, looking at the man, but they're looking at the quarterback. And so, they're going to rally when you throw it underneath, and you don't have time to get it past them. And they did a good job. They kept it on us, and we didn't adjust fast enough or come up with something good enough to scare them out of it. And we saw it the whole game.
You talked earlier this week.
So, Cat, this man just sit up there and admitted that he couldn't figure it out. Him nor Shotty could figure it out. So this is my narrative. I'm just showing what he said, and I'm showing his stats in the game versus another quarterback who y'all hate on and say who's better than that. I'm gonna say this: only thing we can give Dak over Hurts is he's a better thrower of the ball, and that really ain't saying much because his decision making with throwing the ball, boy, he'll throw goddamn dirt balls. He'll throw balls like he throwing to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or some shit. He'll throw behind the receiver. So that really ain't saying much. But overall, Jalen Hurts has outshined Dak Prescott that's playing the quarterback position. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. I don't care what they say. Miss Matrix, ATP, you do realize you're literally the only guy on Jalen coattails, right? The 3 and 4 letter networks, Eagles fans, content creators, everyone wondering why. Hey, but Miss Matrix, that's the thing though. It's funny though how they're down in Hurts. Even though last year he outplayed Dak and had a better record than Dak. Made the playoffs and Dak didn't. But see, they giving Dak all these flowers already and he ain't even did shit. Jalen Hurts has been further than Dak. But see, that's what let me know what this is all about. It's favoritism. It's about hype. It's about what people want to sell, what people want to buy. Because true fans of the Eagles, they not thinking like that. You see, that's media talk. That's bullshit talk. I had several Eagle fans tell me, "No, JB, that's not what it's about." Willy Wonka, 60 million highest paid NFL player, just a bus driver is insane to me. Right. Blaze, Jalen Hurts has played in 2 Super Bowls, posting a combined 525 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and 1 interception, along with 142 rushing yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. See, Blaze, I know you always come with them stats. I know you always come with them stats, bro. See, that's not fitting the narrative, Catlin. That's just speaking facts and telling the truth. See, Jalen let his game speak for himself. Unfortunately, I don't know why the hate coming at him, but his game went to 2 Super Bowls and won one and was the MVP of one. When is Dak Prescott play going to speak for him instead of these Dak fanboy slurpees and these delusional Cowboy fans and these 3-4 letter networks, these crazy ass blogs hyping him up? See, they hyping him all up now in this offseason. Wait till the regular season start. See, that's when the true test comes. Yeah, we Super Bowl champs in the offseason. Yeah, but wait till the real test comes, because this schedule is a gauntlet. This schedule is a gauntlet, bro. And Dak is going to have to step up. I don't want to hear no excuses because they say we got a DC that's a head coach in waiting. We got steals in the free agency from Arizona and the Cardinals. I mean, Arizona and the Rams. We got steals in the backfield. So I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear none of that shit about if we don't succeed. Don't blame Christian Parker. He's a rookie DC. But it's a shame because they're already lifting him up and say he's a coach in waiting. And he ain't even showing them at DC. But yeah, all we need is the defense to be middle of the road because nothing's wrong with the offense led by Dak Prescott. Yeah, I can't wait to see this season start. What up, Dallas fan? What's good, bro?
Hey man, how's it going?
I'm killing, man. What you got, man?
Sorry, I meant to freaking typing. I was trying to point out the fact that when Jalen Hurts had that big game, look at the rushing stats of the Eagles real quick and look at the Cowboys rushing stats. You'll notice something, and it's actually very, very obvious. How many rushing yards did how many yards did the Eagles have versus the Cowboys running the ball against the Vikings?
Oh, in that game. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me see. I think
Take a look at it.
I think I can pull that up. Let me see. Yeah. So rushing. Damn,
Look at how many yards the Cowboys had rushing
we
the
had
ball.
138 rushing yards. God
Right.
damn.
We ran over the Minnesota Vikings. How many rushing yards did the Eagles have again with Saquon?
Let me see. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Let me see. Yeah, y'all see that? I got that. Okay, yeah. Let me see. Oh shit. 45. He
Mm-hmm.
didn't have no run game in that game.
Mm-hmm. Yep. People don't point that out though, do they? They say, "Oh, Jalen
Oh
Hurts needs
shit.
a great running game." Where was his running game in that game, huh?
We had 138 rushing yards.
That was the only reason we stayed in the game is because we ran the ball down the Vikings' throat. We already knew the defense was bad. They made JJ McCarthy look like superstar, but where was Dak when we needed him?
Yeah, where was
Because
that? The most clutch quarterback.
that's
Go
what I was
ahead,
pointing
man.
out. We ran the ball down the Minnesota Vikings' throats. In fact, we ran the ball down a lot of good teams' throats, but we didn't stick with it, did we? We abandoned the
Nope.
run.
And that's what I be talking about with Shoddy Dallas fan. I'm telling you, he is not committed to the run game. And that
And
what hurt us in
yeah.
those games.
Yeah. I'm just telling you this year, even though the Cowboys, we have a very talented offense, Schottenheimer is very basic when it comes to his play calling, at least in the passing game. He's very basic. And with very little to no personnel changes, with an entire 17 game footage film on our offense from last year, and then the fact that the schedule we play is tougher. You don't think the offense is going to take a little bit of a step back this year? I think that a lot of people may be surprised about that. I don't want that to happen, but you got to be realistic here when it comes to that.
Yes. Yes. I think they're man, that's what I was saying, bro. Dak shouldn't be throwing the ball that many times. Even in that game, he threw the ball 38 times and still couldn't do. He still didn't get more yards. Jalen Hurts threw the ball 23 times. They had 300 and I think it was 340 something, 46 yards or some shit like that. Dak
Yeah,
threw under 300, and he threw it 38 times. Jalen Hurts
yeah,
threw it 3 times.
yeah. I mean, so yeah. I mean, and also you look at the Eagles. The Eagles played Minnesota on the road. We played them at home. We're supposed to be the better team at home, right?
Man, you making some key points with this one. I didn't even pay attention to that part. Damn, we was at
No,
home, we still couldn't do nothing.
yeah, and so that's what's really embarrassing too is because you know we were able we were able to run the ball against some good teams, but we didn't stick with it enough, and it cost us last year. But that directly goes back to Brian Schottenheimer, who called the plays, and Dak Prescott. And yes, the defense was bad, but your defense is bad. So if you know your defense is bad, then why would you try and keep them out there on the field by passing the ball a billion times?
That's coaching.
It's stupid. It's stupidity. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad coaching. So if the Cowboys want to have any chance this year of having a shot, we have to run the ball. We have to do what we did in 2014 when our defense, because remember, our defense was terrible in 2013, the year before, right? We
Yep.
got a little bit better in 2014 because we got turnovers, but we also did another thing. We ran the ball. We limited how much we were passing. And see, Romo, I think, was able to figure that out. And you look at how great of his year was. His year was fantastic.
How about 2014?
Yeah.
Yeah.
DeMarco Murray set the single season rushing record for Dallas Cowboys running backs. And we went 12-4. Why did we go 12-4? Because we weren't passing the ball 40 times a game.
Yep.
We weren't forcing it into double and triple coverage at times. So that's how you have to win with Dak. But the question is Jerry Jones going to allow that to happen? Because think about where the money's going. Besides Dak Prescott, you have the other two wide receivers as well.
Yeah, because now They debating whether they might franchise tag Pickens next season or give him a deal. You
Right.
think they're gonna give him a deal, man? That's two wide receivers over $100 million.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's the other thing I didn't mention. You know, as much as we're criticizing Dak in that game, where was George Pickens that game?
Is that the game where Troy Aikman called all receivers out, or was that the Detroit game?
It might have been both games because I think those were the 2 games in a row. Pickens didn't show up against Detroit, and he didn't show up against Minnesota. And I remember that was one of the games I called him out, and kind of what made me a little hesitant to pay him because Minnesota was one of the better secondaries. Where was he in that game?
Sure.
So we already know kind of what Dak is. We know that he's got his limitations, but where was George Pickens?
Good point.
Because
But
look at
see,
Devontae Smith.
well, if you look at it though, Dallas fan, the receiver can't really do nothing if the quarterback can't get him the ball. Why Dak couldn't figure that shit out to get those receivers the ball? You feel me? Because
Yeah.
he didn't throw no picks, but he didn't throw no touchdowns either. That not to have Pickens and Lamb, and you don't throw one touchdown to either one of those guys. To me, that's on the quarterback. And that goes back to him and Shotty had a week to prepare for this game against the Vikings, and they couldn't figure it out then, and they couldn't figure it out and make adjustments during the game. That goes back to the quarterback and the coach.
Absolutely. It's something you have to question. I mean, everybody's talking about Schottenheimer, you know, changing the culture and all this stuff, but to me, the culture doesn't seem any different than it's ever been. In fact, I feel like it may be worse than it's ever been because you're seeing other players slacking off, getting in trouble, doing dumb stuff. And I get it, you know, these guys are young dudes, but their minds are not in the right place. They're focused on their job, which is playing football, getting ready for the season, not partying it up, you know, doing stupid stuff like that.
Yeah.
But see, that's a problem that's been going on with our team for years. But I mean, it's not changed in the Schottenheimer era so far, and you know, we'll have to see.
Schottenheimer hasn't done anything really about it either, though. To me, if you know what I'm saying, to me, Shotty wants to be a players coach. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to be enemies with no players and make tough decisions. Not to me, because you know I went live about this, made about 2 videos about Shotty and how he felt about slinging the ball to Pickens and Lamb. Like, but when we hired him or to talk about him when he became the head coach what was it called? Shotty ball? I mean, not Shotty ball. Why I keep saying that? Well, it
was Shoddy ball. Yeah, that's right.
Running the ball. You know what I'm saying? That was the talk when he got hired. That we were going to be like a physical team and running the ball more than really passing. See, but to me, he caught up in the hype too, which I think I don't blame this on Mike McCarthy, but I think he got in the beginning, he got caught up in the hype how they praised Dak and how he's this gunslinger. You know what I'm saying? But then he realized that he's not that. He had to dial back. And that's why he didn't give a fuck about coming back and coaching again.
Yeah. And that's the other problem is you know, we've seen what the Cowboys can do when we ran the ball. We had success last year. Like Schottenheimer, there's one thing you can give him, and he gets this from his dad. Even when he was offensive, he's never been a great offensive coordinator, but one thing he's always done is he's ran the ball, and he's usually ran it pretty good.
Yeah.
Most of the time. But you see, he's never been a passing guru when it's come to his offensive play calling, as chopping it up with 2 times says, and shout out to him, is hella basic. And that's what it is. It was like that when he was with Seattle as well. But he just happened to have a little bit better quarterback in Russell Wilson than what he had with Dak. So he kind of got away with it. But
yeah, you're right.
He's never been like his expertise has never been passing the ball. He's always been he's been like his dad, very run heavy, on the rock, and he's usually had success. That's where he's done the best, has been running the football. And he's kind of gone away from his identity in a way. I think, like you said, because he's sort of bought into the hype and he's trying to change who he is. But I think if he wants to have success as a head coach, he really needs to go back to what his identity is, and that's been running the football. I mean, you look at the Jets, right? When he was the offensive coordinator, he had some success there, but why did the Jets have
What running back
success?
he had with the Jets at that time? Was it
Mark Sanchez.
no, I'm talking about the running back.
He had Sean Green and he had LaDainian Tomlinson, actually.
Oh yeah, that's right. When he came from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so he had him during those 2 championship runs, but you look at why the Jets did well is because they had a good defense and they ran the ball really well. Mark Sanchez was atrocious with the Jets in 2009, 2010, but he was better than Dak in the playoffs, which isn't that crazy. Mark Sanchez was better than Dak in the playoffs. That's
What he
nuts.
go to 2 AFC championship games or something, one of them or something like that? Didn't he go deep in the
Yeah, he
playoffs?
did. He did, and Schottenheimer was the play caller, and his running game was the big reason why they got there.
I don't know why I'm thinking they had a different running back. Maybe I'm thinking of the most recent years when Shotty was gone. Who was that running back they got now? It's maybe a few years ago. What was it, number
Brees
20?
Hall.
Brees
Brees
Hall.
Hall.
That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah, that was after Schottenheimer. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking about. He a beast though.
Right. But that's the question. Will Prescott and Brian Schottenheimer stick with running the football? Are they going to try and get into the hype and try and pass the ball a billion times? See, that's what.
Because I could see a scenario, and it could come from up top. Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is saying to these guys, "Well, I'm paying."
Instead of running, I could see something like that. I
You
know it's a
driving,
joke.
man? You drive?
But no, I'm outside.
Oh, okay.
I'm on my porch. Yeah, sorry about that. It's on my porch. But that's a kind of a scenario I could see happening, and that really, I mean, I honestly kind of already expect it, just because that's all it's been talked about all off season is George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, and Dak. We don't hear hardly anything about Javonte Williams, who just had a great season. You know, I've heard a little bit about the offensive line, but most of the time you're hearing about Dak Prescott. I mean, and actually what's crazy is I've been seeing a lot of, I don't know about you, JB, but I've been seeing a lot of social media posts lately saying that Dak is like the most overhated quarterback in the NFL, that he's like underappreciated, underrated. And I've seen some of the comments.
Yeah, they come on my
There's
Facebook.
been a ton of them.
Yeah, man. And this is
I see him
ridiculous.
on. So it's like, because where is like the main, because a lot of these people, they don't watch the smaller content creators, you know, they watch the big ones. Where's the hate coming from in the mainstream media on this guy?
I don't know, because it seems to me they love his ass. I don't know what they're talking about the hate. They really puffing his ass up this season too.
Yeah, so I mean, where's the hate come? I mean, we're criticizing him, but I don't see any of the big YouTubers criticizing him, or the YouTubers, I should say, with a bigger following.
Yeah, I feel you. I know what you're saying. Yeah, I don't see it either though, Dallas fan. I mean, really now from the media, 3-4 letter networks and all these blogs on these sites, they're all lifting him up. Really, no criticism right now.
At all,
to
yeah.
To me, that what hurts Dak Prescott and his ambition and his mental fortitude and hating to lose when you want to goddamn cuss everybody out on the team because we ain't winning. He's used to hearing all this puffed up shit about him, because you can't finna tell me that he don't hear this shit. You ain't finna tell me he don't see this shit, that he don't hear. He's the number 6 quarterback out of the whole league. He's the top clutch quarterback. So to him, he's there. He sees himself as a number 1 quarterback, and that's why it seems it's beyond pointed. And I think to him, and he said it last season at the end of the season, that it's not his fault everybody else's fault. And to me, he's never going to get better. And it's going into his 11th year. It's to me, he don't get enough criticism for him to look within himself to say, look, okay, maybe I need to change this. Maybe I really need to focus on this part of my game. You know what I'm saying? So he's used to getting all these cheers, and it was the defense fault, and he was getting in the defense fault when it was got down 21 to 23, 24. He had a chance in 2019. You know what I'm saying? But it still always boils down to it wasn't his fault. So to me, he's living with the idea and the ideology that I'm playing at a level of Tom Brady and all these other great quarterbacks. I just need people to follow me. And you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
people like you, me, and others understand and see, no, dude, you're not that. You're not that. You know what I'm saying? You got to get better.
Yeah.
You got to make quicker decisions. You got to be able to read post snap. You got to understand how to read a cover zero defense. And he doesn't still. You feel me? What up, Uncensored? Appreciate you, man.
Brother?
What's good?
Not much, man. Jumped on to show you love for a few minutes.
Yes, sir.
Hey, y'all talking my favorite thing, stats. Yeah. So I had to jump on, and especially when y'all brought up Shotty.
Man.
That is one ass coach, bro.
I can't say he's too good right now.
And I'm not 2020 hindsighting anything. I told my boys that we do the panel with, Fifth is joined. What up, Fifth?
What up?
Phil, appreciate
I told them last offseason I had no faith in Shotty. He didn't come off like a head coach. When he did his introductory interview, and he said football is about people, not X's and O's, I was out. And then I think it was like week 2 or 3, I reached out to Fifth in the middle of the game. I said, I'm done with this dude. He is not a coach. And in that Panthers game, he coached that chicken shit. He doesn't know how to adjust. And Fifth went at it with Corner about him being a head coach and offensive coordinator and not having to be accountable to nobody. That's why he got worse as the season went on. As the competition got harder, they got worse. He's not a good head coach, and I don't think him and Dak Prescott at all are going to make the playoffs.
Nope.
And I think he gets fired. I think he gets fired after next season. I pray to God they do not promote Christian Parker to head coach. I want them to clean slate. Hey, you know what? We appreciate you coming in, Parker, but we're about to go out here and sell the farm to get Brian Flores.
Coach in waiting. He's a head coach in waiting.
I heard that shit, man. I have no idea where the fuck this is coming from. This dude was a paper pusher, and he cut up clips like Nate Dogg of football plays for the teams before 2 years ago. And now all of a sudden now he's a prodigy in the NFL. This shit is crazy to me, man.
I do question his pick of Jayshon Barham there in the 3rd round. And then Malachi Lawrence really with the 20th pick. I mean, maybe he gets better in a couple of years, but I feel like I feel like Christian Parker had some influence on. I mean, I want to put the guy down before he gets a chance. I'll give him a chance, but I think it's absolutely crazy to say he's the head coach in waiting after 1 year.
He ain't even had a year.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
But shout out to Danny Savage, Draft Guru. Go look him up, subscribe to him. And Fifth, because they both made a point that I never even noticed until this last couple of weeks when they brought this point to me. If he is this prodigy guy that is going to take a 4-3 to a 3-4, why don't we have any personnel on this team, including the ones that he went out and drafted? He got 2 first-round defensive players this year, and we don't have any true 3-4 linemen or linebackers on this team. They're all undersized.
just goes to show, man, we can't. I mean, we already know that the scouts can't evaluate defensive talent. I mean, people will say, well, what about Caleb Downs? I mean, but he was right there. And we don't even know how the guy's going to play yet because he's not taking the field.
Yeah, if he can go out there. People thought Romeo Cornell was going to be a good head coach because he coached under Bill Belichick. They thought that Rex Ryan was going to be a good head coach because he coached under Bill Belichick. Just because you coach underneath another coach does not mean you're capable of taking on more responsibility and being successful at it. I always have an analogy like some people aren't able to handle responsibility. They might want it, but they don't fully know and are able to grasp what comes with it. Just like you can have somebody that you work with, and they can be a really good employee, but they'd be a horrible fucking manager. And then you can have a manager that can't run his own business because he doesn't. It takes different skill sets. Some people are meant to be the checkout clerk at your grocery store. They have no motivation to be anything bigger and better than that. And then some people are meant to start businesses and be CEOs and board members and stuff like that. Christian Parker is going to fall into the same category. Fifth, what was that boy name that was the secondary coach? Chris Richard.
Yeah.
He was hyped. He was hyped up to be the next great thing. People hyping up Al Harris.
Yeah.
Al Harris was the face of Dan Quinn's defense because Dan Quinn was up in the box. So the sounds on the sideline hyped him up. He was the one clapping and high-fiving them all and everything like that. Dan Quinn was the one that was calling those plays.
Absolutely.
Oh, he literally could have put on a fucking cowboy hat and some booty shorts and went out there and practiced his high kicks because he was just cheerleading on the sideline the whole game. Every time he's clipped, what was it? Hey, there's one more out there. There's one more out there. I didn't hear him saying, hey, when they run in this formation, this is what we need to be in. This is what we need to. You didn't hear that from Al Harris on the sideline.
He was a hype man.
He was a hype man. And everybody associated all those turnovers with him. But if you go back and even look at the Legion of Boom, they was high turnovers based off of his defense. And Chris Richard has benefited from being in two highly intelligent defensive coordinators systems, and they just laid it at his feet, and he's able to just take both of their systems, take the best out of both of them, and mix up and make his own fucking cake, and it's gonna be the next greatest fucking thing. I don't see it. What up, Fifth?
My only issue is
What up, Fifth? Yeah.
Oh, guys. My only issue is the early crowning. When they do that shit, that what irks me and turns me away from it.
Yep.
Irritates the hell out of me. It's not that why would I want him to fail? He's our defensive coordinator.
Yep.
I want him to be good. It's just an early crowning. If you look at everything, everything's aligned with him it being in over his head. Why? Because he 100% got up there and spit the same shot he spit, not knowing what else to say because they never done it before. Shotty got up there last year. I'm going to win a Super Bowl with Dak. We're going to win so much, people are going to try to take our coaches. Just shit coaches don't say. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like the guy that's trying to play gangster. You know, real gangsters don't speak about what they do. They stay quiet. It's the pretenders are the one that's telling you I did this and did that. This man got up there and talked about, I'm going to run 3-4. We're going to do 4-3. We're going to do – what are you talking about? How about we're going to build this young defense, get everybody on one accord, and create an identity? Why are we talking about that already? Why are we not talking about the basis of it? If he'd have got up there and talked about it being his first time, he got a young defense, he got players, veteran players. If he'd have talked about continuity, building this defense back up from where it coming from, just a bottom tier, teaching the young guys, bringing in his knowledge. If he'd have said that, man, the level of respect I would have had for him as a DC or first-time DC. But you got to talk about what schemes you're going to run. Really? You think every offense is just going to be set up for you to do what you want to do? Are you serious? You sound like a fool. And that's my issue. And then the pushback fans have when us as real fans have concerns about talk like that. We've seen it before. Our head coach told us that if we won 7 games, I have an issue with that. You can't just say. And I went at a corner, 2018, I think it was. We brought in Christian Shaw. He's coming from the Super Bowl team. He was over there under so and so, Dan Quinn. I'm like, dude, what does that mean? What I said, like I told him last year with Eberflus. I like, bro, it was the talent, brother. It was the talent. Like the sister said, that's a small portion of coaches that come from under proven coaches that be successful. How many coaches came from under Nick Saban, who's a piece of shit in my opinion, but has a small amount of success besides Kirby Smart in Georgia? And most of that has been because of the talent that he's had in Georgia.
Yeah.
He ain't really won a lot, but early on, that he can recruit his ass off because of Nick Saban, and he's a hell of talent. And I think he might only beat Nick once, but other than that, you can't name nobody else that came from under him. That they like, oh man, they came from under the Nick Saban tree. They flop. They all flop. That's a small number of coaches that come from under. I'm so sick of hearing he came from under Vance. He came from under this guy. Okay, what Christian Parker came from, bro? What does that mean?
Hey, Fifth, I'm gonna cut you off. I'm gonna let you get back to it, but I agree that what you just said, man. I've been saying that too because they attribute his coaching, abilities to being under Vance Joseph and goddamn Vic Fangio. But I'm like, those are two different ideologies and two different personalities. You can't compare and say that Christian Parker is going to do what those two guys done because they have their own feel for the game. We haven't seen Christian Parker have a feel for the game and make decisions on the fly. You feel what I'm saying? So, good point. That's what I've been saying too, man. And that's critical. We're not hating on Christian Parker. We want him to succeed, but everything lined up for him. And I've been saying this, man, this is the wrong time for him to come to the Cowboys. If he was going to another team in a different situation, I think he probably will excel more.
Hey, OG, mute up for a second. You got the wind.
Your wind blowing, OG. Got a headset.
With the wind.
I got it.
But it's like not to put it business, but a sense to run his own business. If I went out there and worked for him, and I felt like I could do this myself. I'm not factoring in the years it took him, the ups and downs, the client builder, the client trust, everything he put into it. You're not factoring in that. And you like, and other people like, man, I see he came from Uncensored, man. He could do it. He was on the Uncensored. Y'all forgot? What about all the years it took to become who he became? We're not thinking about that with these coaches. How long it took Vic to become who he became? You don't do that in just 1 year. You can't do that, man. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. It takes time. It takes learning players. It takes how to be patient with players. I don't care what y'all try to say. And y'all try to put sprinkles on what his job was. He did not have an important position in Philly. And they can kiss my ass with that.
With Denver either.
In Denver, we never heard of this dude, man. People can lie like they have. There's a damn lie. He's never been with any team on a college level or NFL level as a coach or whatever he done more than 2 years. Never.
Yeah. And this is the crazy part, Fifth, is that if he is this defensive guru, next prodigy, why was he the 40th interview that Dallas did?
40th?
Well, yeah.
Shotty out of his mouth said that they interviewed 40 people for the defensive coordinator position. Christian Parker was the last one they interviewed, and they said that they couldn't wait to have him back. If he's this defensive guru that everybody in the league has been talking about and everybody's been pursuing, because I heard people wanting to go after Brian Flores and what's the defensive coordinator that said for the New York Jets.
You put that out there.
Yeah. But those are the defensive coordinators and the defensive guys that everybody was talking about doing. This Christian Parker dude, when he got hired, I was like, who? Just like when Shotty got hired, I was like, what the fuck?
And I remember, dude, I was so mad when Schottenheimer got hired. In fact, I think I remember saying that he was the worst hire since Dave Campo.
Yo, he might be worse than Dave Campbell. That might be facts.
I mean, yeah, Dave Campo, you got to think, man, Jerry Jones really screwed Dave Campo. I mean, he had no first round picks for his 2 out of his first 3 years. He had a terrible offensive line outside of Larry Allen and Flozell Adams. He had no quarterback to work with. He had an aging Troy Aikman. He had a washed up Randall Cunningham and a bunch of undrafted free agent quarterbacks. I mean, I guess he had Quincy Carter, but Quincy Carter didn't have a great offensive line. And plus, he was dealing with the mental side of that was his biggest issue. So he did not set up Dave Campo well for success. I mean, Schottenheimer inherited a team that was only 1 season removed from the playoffs. So, you know, and he only won 2 more games more than what Dave Campo won. So that's saying something.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, man, I'm gonna give a shout out to Reek Money, man. 100 gems for that trophy cake. I appreciate you, man. Constant contributor channel, man. I appreciate you. Philly D. Catlin, unfortunately, is brainwashed. Anyone play the team sport with but not one Dak leading their offense. Man,
Can you hear me?
who said that?
Well,
Go ahead,
Snitch.
OG. What you got,
What's
bro?
happening?
What's going on with you? Appreciate the man for
Hey,
stopping by.
I just want to touch. What's that echo? Is that my phone?
I really don't hear no echo. You mean?
Oh,
But I
can
do
you
hear
hear
a
me?
little echo. What you got? Some ear
Oh,
buds in your ear? You got some buds in
yeah,
your ear?
yeah. Does that sound better there?
Y'all can hear
We
him?
we can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, you good. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to touch on this Christian Parker thing. I know everybody is kind of like on the fence about this Christian Parker thing. Hell, I'm a little bit up on the fence to it. You know, I'm not saying that it's gonna work out. It could be a shitty fucking coach. But remember, we already had those old motherfuckers already. We done had Dan Quinn already. We done had Shotty. I mean the Everflus, and we done had Mike, whatever his fucking name. We done had them old school guys already. And his plan may not work out. I'm saying, but if it don't work with him, I don't know how long this contract is. We can find somebody. We can find somebody. The next year we probably can do it next year, but the year after. I'm hoping it does work out with him. I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping we can turn us around some kind of way. But all I'm saying is, if we can at least get this fucking defense between, I would say, at least 10 and fucking 20, 21, I'm cool with that. And keep this bum in the game. And we know it ain't gonna fucking work out with this bum because it's hard for him to. I gave him 10 wins already. But I'm saying, keep this bomb where we can not try to blame everything on the defense. And then if it don't work out with him, and then we can say, okay, well, we know we still need pieces already on defense. We know our defensive line stuck. We know there's still we don't know how much Clark got in the tank. We don't know that already. We know Overshawn got some injuries got injury problem with their leg. We already know that, and we all know our secondary could be suspect. But if you can kind of clean that up for us a little bit, hold us in the game, at least shut them down when we need to, and get them off the field and get that bomb back. I said we're winning. We'll win a little bit with him. And then if it don't work out with Christian, let's move on. Look for some place. My door is always open to trying to find a better coach. Both of them, defense and but I like what he brings to the table. I like his teaching aspect. I'm not saying he's the man for Dallas on defense coordinator. I'm saying I like the way he teaches discipline, and we ain't had that in a long fucking time. We had guys throwing up their fucking hands last year. Oh, well, I ain't the fucking problem. I ain't the issue. Now, if we see that Christian Parker is not putting up with that bullshit that we put up for the last 2 or 3 years with the digs and all the issues we had with Rebel and all the getting beaten coverage and all that, if we can see that shit cleaned up in the penalties, I said that we are winning some kind of way with him. And if we are struggling, it's just somebody with Christian, let's say that and these guys are getting beaten up different like that. They're not showing what they need to show because they got paid and he don't give a fuck about you got paid. Let's say secondary is getting cornerbacks are getting beat constantly. Let's see that. Okay, if we go to the bench, okay, I see that Christian Parker does have some kind of fucking pull and told Jerry to go fuck yourself. But I'm just saying that I'm not saying he's the man. I'm not saying that he's the man. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if I continue to see more of that, and he demand the respect from these guys. And look, if you getting your pants beat off of you, and if you can't come up and tackle, you won't be disciplined on defense. And I see them put him on the bench and replace some guys, and he because hey, it may not work out with the person that got there. Hey, because our depth is shit. We know our depth is garbage right now. We need to get better at depth. I'm just saying, hey, we're making some strides to try to get better. And if it don't work out this year, next year, because of Dak or because of defense this year, let's move on. That's all I'm saying. I like what it's doing. I like the teaching. Now I could be wrong, but I like what I'm seeing right now. That's all I'm saying. That's it.
Yeah, I feel you, OG, and I think even on Fifth touched on this. It's not about Christian Parker. It's about the hype he's getting right now. So it's really not the hate on him personally. I don't mind the young hire. I agree with you on that.
Right.
But what I see is that I think the hire for him and the potential he can have is the wrong time for the Cowboys as DC and what we're going through as a team and the organization. To me, in my opinion, that's why. And then he's being thrown in the fire. Everything's new. The systems are new. Even a lot of players are new. Shit, like Uncensored said, he don't know if he gonna run a 3-4 or 4-3 or 4-2-5. He gonna be multiple. He just saying shit. Just like Shotty was saying shit, you know what I'm saying? In the position that they was awarded to, which I don't think neither one of them really warrants right now. But something new, something fresh, yeah, that's what I look at with our quarterback position. Something new, something fresh. But being realistic, what he's up against and where he's coming from and what he's doing, getting the hype already, he's already a head coach and waiting. That's why I push back and be like, nah, bro, let's be realistic about this shit. This dude, he got a lot against him. Schedule, even as a defensive coordinator, the first time in this schedule we going up against like 8 playoff teams with former quarterbacks and coaches. So stop this hype bullshit and be realistic about what's going on here. I think we would garnish or gain more respect as being Cowboy fans, as being more real to our situation instead of goddamn bloviating over bullshit ass stats and mediocrity and almost getting there and shit. That's bullshit. So to me, it's really not hate for Christian Parker. But although I don't really like Shotty, I knew him in preseason. I was out on him in preseason last year. I mean, his first year in coaching. But we're giving Christian Parker a chance. My thing is, I don't think this is the right team for right now. But him individually as trying to learn to be a DC, I think he could be good if he went somewhere else. And I'm not criticizing him, you know what I'm saying, or not thinking he can be a good coach. It's just to me to fit right now with the Cowboys. I think it's going to stun his growth in a sense. You see what happened with goddamn Kellen Moore. You know what I'm saying? They was blaming him for Dak shit. But then this dude went out with 1 year with Jalen Hurts and goddamn won a Super Bowl. So what does that really tell you? You know
And
what I'm
Kellen Moore
saying?
was Kellen Moore was successful too, by the way. Everybody wants to, hate on him. Do you know the Cowboys were always in like the top 10 almost every year? He was offensive coordinator without Dak too, by the way, because he did play quite a few games without Dak, and he still looked good. That's kind of what showed me he was good. I'm like, when he won with Cooper Rush and like actually looked decent, like the play calling, I'm like, man, this looks really good. I was like, okay, Kellen Moore has got something. Like that game against Minnesota, I think it was in 21, when he won that game with Cooper Rush. That's when I realized Dak's the problem. That's when I was kind of like, maybe it's not Kellen Moore, it's Dak. And then we saw the offense kind of regress again.
You've seen every type of defensive coordinator you can see, every type of offensive coordinator you can see. You've seen 13-3. You've seen 12-5. 3 times in a row. You've seen 10-6. I mean, you've had the recipe. It's and most of the time, it's that one guy, man. It's that one guy. You've had it. You've seen some of the best records. You've won your divisions more times than I can count, man. None of it matters. I don't care who you keep bringing in here. Until you move on from Prescott, you'll never know the truth. Man, Mike McCarthy did not get to do what he really wanted to do. He had to do what Jerry told him to do. That he had to do what Dak was capable of. He had to play down to Dak capabilities, man. It don't matter, bro. Like I keep saying this. You've seen all the success you can see in a regular season. What is a few more games gonna mean? What is 14-3 gonna mean? What is 15-2 gonna mean? It don't mean shit because you made the playoffs and you stunk it up. You had with all that success you had during the regular season, you can't even get to an NFC title game. This dude be shook, man. He beat up on sorry teams and he lose to good teams, and he can't win nothing. I don't care who you bring in here. And you damn sure ain't going to look too high with a young defensive coordinator that never done it. And, much respect to OG, but he said he like his system and his discipline. Have you seen something I ain't seen? Because I ain't seen shit.
We can't say we've seen anything yet, man. Training camp is in the next week, so we got to wait.
Like, I don't understand what do you mean you like his system and what system? I ain't seen no system. I ain't seen no
discipline either.
I ain't seen nothing. I ain't seen shit for him saying what he want to do or what he's gonna do. I ain't seen nothing. I seen Dak Prescott have foot on his knees just by sitting at the house.
I think if you think that man, as a first-time DC, who's just happy to be a defensive coordinator, is gonna buck up at Jerry Jones, when Mike McCarthy, a Super Bowl winning head coach, wouldn't even buck up at Jerry Jones. When you got a feckless head coach, the defensive coordinator is going to be the one that's going to tell Jerry to fuck off. Deron Bland can get burnt 100 times in one game. He's going to be the starter for the next game.
Yeah.
Demarion Overshown is going to be a starter. Williams is going to be a starter. Clark is going to be a starter. These dudes, they can script. We've seen it. Mozzie Smith was clear cut, shouldn't have been on this team after 2 years. All right, his rookie season, that's a wash. Second year, he should have been gone. Osa should have never been paid. Steele should have been cut. Guyton should have been gone. I mean, how many years did we have Zeke and we like, man, this dude, he's washed.
Don't forget
all those years of contact. Schoolmaker, he should be gone. It's like so many. Marius Louisville is ass.
Garbage.
Matt Eberflus should have been fired after that Panthers game. Matt Eberflus shit should have been on the fucking curb. They should have landed back in Dallas, and Matt Eberflus' card shouldn't even work to get into the building. He should have been fired in the middle of the game. You had a running back that you thought wasn't even worthy of being the third running back on the team. And he told your whole defense to buckle your chin straps because I'm coming. And then he walked you down the entire game. And then, even worse, you get into the meat and potatoes of the schedule. Denver, the Lions, the Vikings. And you can't stop shit. Just over and over and over. 40 points here and there. What was the justification for keeping him through the whole season? It doesn't make sense. You couldn't have did worse.
He didn't want to pay. Jerry was cheap. Sorry, buddy. I'm just saying. This
is the thing, though. He was getting paid one way or another because coaches' contracts are fully guaranteed. So you cut him this year, you cut him during the offseason, you still got to pay him. You cut him after week 8, you still got to pay him. And then you promote somebody else from the defensive coaching staff to try to create a spark. Sometimes you got to make moves to prove a point, to try to ignite the team and let other coaches know I'm not okay with the status quo, and y'all motherfuckers might be looking for jobs next year. If you want to stay in Dallas, if you like the glitz and glamour of Dallas, then you need to get your shit together. Y'all need to be held accountable. And I put a part of that blame on Shotty too. As a head coach, your job is not just offense. You're responsible for this defense too. A head coach job is to win games, not just coach offense.
Right.
It's supposed to be to manage personnel. Why the fuck is Mozzie Smith even still on this fucking team after training camp? We watched videos of him getting pushed 5-6 yards down the field. We watched him back there with the fucking linebackers just getting manhandled in training camp. Yet they still got him on the team. Why was Micah Parsons allowed to be on the sideline laying on a trainer's table? Where's the leadership from the head coach? Where's the leadership from Dak Prescott? Where's the leadership on defense? Get your ass the fuck up. He would have had to fight me on that sideline. Yeah, we out here got guys fucking out here putting their lives on the line just to try to make a team. And you over here laying on the fucking training table. And his butt buddy Trayvon Diggs sitting up there co-signing on like a background singer during every fucking interview.
Yeah.
You should have got rid of both of them.
Yeah.
Hey, let me give a shout out to Corsair, man, with the $2 super chat, man. I appreciate you, Corsair, man, for coming through. He says JB and Company, keep it real. Thanks. Yes, sir, bro. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Schoonmaker, though, that was. I know that the sport thinks that Schoonmaker's elite. What's elite about him? Like, I don't necessarily think he's as bad as what some people will say, but you should have never taken him in the second round.
But what is he elite at? Tell me one thing he's good at. Elite.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not really. There's nothing really elite about Schoonmaker. Like, he looked okay when he got his opportunity, but is he better than Jake Ferguson? I don't think so. I think Jake Ferguson's better than him.
Who called him elite? Who called Schoonmaker elite?
Somebody in the chat did.
Holy shit.
I mean, you may be just joking, but I don't see how Luke Schoonmaker is elite, man.
He got
I don't see
Who
it.
that Sports 78?
Oh yeah, he trolling.
Oh yeah, he trolling.
He's got to be joking around, but
he's not a troller, man. I think he's being facetious, bro. He not a troller.
Nah, he cool. He joke. He been my
yeah. I've seen him on here. Yeah, he's probably. I figured he was just joking, but I was just like, there's
even
not.
But that's still was a bad pick.
Yeah, it was a terrible pick. Like, I knew that he was never going to beat out Jake Ferguson. I was like, Jake Ferguson was better than him in college, and he was a 4th round pick, and we took Schoonmaker in the 2nd round because Dak Prescott wanted a tight end. It's so funny. He's buddies with Jake Ferguson, but the reason we drafted Schoonmaker is because Dak didn't trust that Jake Ferguson could be the guy, and I knew he could be the guy. I was like, trust me. Everybody was all worried about Dalton Schultz. Oh my gosh, we're losing Dalton Schultz. What's going to happen? I'm like, trust me. You give Jake Ferguson a chance. I've already seen enough. I think he could be just as good as Dalton Schultz, and so far, I was proven right about that. I think he could be just as good.
He just has to hold on to the ball. He fumbles way too much.
Yeah, that's the only down. Yeah, that's I agree with that 100%.
But
I'm just
if you got a problem with Jake Ferguson fumbles, then you should have a problem with Pickens because Pickens fumbled more than Jake Ferguson did last year.
Damn, he did?
I think he had 9 fumbles last year.
Wow. I have a problem with Pickens not showing up in the bigger games like we were talking about, like that Vikings game.
We tried to warn people during the offseason last year. We tried to warn people, and people told me I watched every game with Pickens. He ain't play like that. I'm like, man, if you look at any conversations around Pickens, is that he gives up on routes.
He can play.
And he takes games off.
When Shotty went to him, what game was that Detroit game?
That was the Vikings game. The Detroit game was the next game. Or vice versa, whatever.
Shotty went to Pickens and called him out for his lack of effort. You know, that man told the head coach, Shotty, we all played bad. No respect.
Oh, dude, and look what he did before the game in Las Vegas. He went out drinking with CeeDee Lamb the night before the game, which is why he got benched for that first drive, man. It's like, Listen, if you want to go
And
out
that's
there and
not
drink and
discipline.
stuff,
That's not discipline.
no, that's what I'm saying. If you want to go out there and drink, though, do it after the game. Don't freaking do it the night before the game. Be hungover, which was just stupid.
The thing is, when after the game, if it's an away game, sorry, Phil. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I was just saying, and he's a bad influence because we never had them issues with Lamb.
Yeah, but my argument would be Lamb's a grown ass man and should have known better too. But after the away games, they don't get time like that. They literally get on a bus, they go back to their hotel, and within a couple hours they're on a plane back to Dallas. They don't have a lot of time, so they have a little bit of free time the night before the game, but they have a curfew. They're supposed to be back in their hotel room. But CD is a grown ass man, just got paid. He should have been the one telling Pickens, "Yo, it's time to get back to the hotel room."
All right.
He's
Pickens
also
is
yeah,
a
he's older.
Pickens is a younger
Yeah.
guy. So if CD
Is
can
that
let
true?
Pickens influence him, get both of them fuckers off the team.
Yeah.
I need leaders. I need guys that's gonna check them. Why the fuck wasn't Dak Prescott the one calling them like, "Yo, why aren't y'all in y'all rooms?"
Well, Dak likes to party too. I don't know about before
Yeah, he
games,
get his
but
ass whooped when he parties.
but listen, I'm not giving these guys necessarily a hard time for They just weren't being very responsible.
Right.
Knowing that's like if, let's say, you have a job the next day and you go out there and you get blackout drunk and you come into work hungover. Like, that's not a good look to be doing things like that.
But it's even worse than that. So imagine this: you claim you like your head coach, and you back your head coach. So let's just say, for all shits and giggles, JB is the head coach, and we're all players, and we like JB. I'm not gonna do something that's gonna put a coach that I like playing for in a tough spot to have to make decisions like that to put him in a bad light. You see what I'm saying? So you can't sit up there and say they like Shoddy and they respect Shoddy. That's disrespectful shit. Like Diggs not flying back on the plane, and they ended up that's why they cut him. They went and played that game, and Shoddy said, "Look, everybody got families. Everybody want to be around their families for the holidays. The rule is you fly out together, you come back together. And then you get your ass on a plane and you go back wherever you want." Diggs bucked the system, and they cut his ass.
Yeah.
Well, see, Jimmy Johnson.
That's a lack of respect. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Phil.
No. I was just agreeing with her saying. I was saying, and early on, we said this last year. Sorry, I got a cold. We said this last year. When we saw the Greek dance and then golf, I said they're not gonna respect it. This is how you build culture. This is how you build relationship with players. Shoddy knows what he's doing. Man, I didn't give a fuck about that dude, man.
Nope.
Joe, they didn't care. Imagine building culture instead of trying to build a solid football team. Who gives a shit? The culture, the only culture you need is a winning culture.
Yep.
Everything.
You just got to go out there and win games.
Your job as a head coach, you create that fucking environment, they will fall in line. It's just that simple, man.
I do have a big question for you guys. Are you all excited? I am. I will say there's one thing I'm excited about, and that's the QB2 battle. I think I'm gonna say this. I'm pretty confident that Sam Howell should easily win that job, but I guess there's conversation that he may not. What do y'all think about that?
I really think it don't even matter. Prescott probably gonna play it full. So he might miss 1 or 2 games, but I mean, it shouldn't even be a battle. Joe Milton is garbage. It shouldn't even be a battle. I just think you probably got Dak for a full season. He's due to miss 1 or 2 games a season, but other than that, I don't think it'll. I mean, if it would come to this, I would definitely hope Sam Howell will get it. But because Joe Milton is ass. But be honest with you. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna get out of here because I'm sick as hell. They need to just blow the whole damn thing up, man. That all the
Absolutely.
Blow it all up, bro. I don't see bring some new people in here. And to the people that say, "Who will you bring?" Dak is your best option. y'all are losers, man. I would rather lose with a new guy who's learning than a guy that's making that type of money and been here over a decade. I would rather have the
And
growing pains of a new guy that you can mold versus a motherfucker that reached his ceiling 3 years ago.
More than that.
hey, Fifth, I'm with you 100%. And I was actually thinking about this the other day. I was watching something on YouTube about some comedy movies, how that Hollywood doesn't take risks anymore with movies. That's why movies suck nowadays. I thought about the Cowboys with that. Why have the Cowboys not had a lot of success? When's the last time? And I remembered watching JB's previous show, the Sports 78, was talking about this. When's the last time the Dallas Cowboys took a risk in actually rebuilding and trying to do something?
They haven't done it since Parcells.
Yeah. So you're talking about 20. The only quarterback we drafted from because I think a lot of people are afraid of if we move on from Dak, it's going to go back to being like it was between 2000 and 2006. And I made a comment saying, well, who did we have in that time? The only quarterback we drafted high was Quincy Carter. And that was
Quincy
it.
Carter was not as bad as people think.
Right. But he was coming into a bad team.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
And he had bad coaching. And Parcells came in and immediately took him to the playoffs. Quincy Carter couldn't stay out the fucking weed. That's what ended his
that was
career.
his.
And
It was not a talent issue. It was not talent.
Right. It was his mental. And I remember watching the Deep Blue, documentary, and even Bill Parcells said he liked him, but Quincy Carter even said it. He just couldn't get out of his own way. It was all of his, his mental and, his substance.
That era from Troy Aikman to Tony Romo, I call it the post-Aikman era. And a lot of people got the post-Aikman PTSD. They are so scared of searching for a quarterback that they think they keep thinking back to the Vinny Testaverdes and Drew Bledsoes and Drew Henson and those fucking guys that we had on the team. But it wasn't that long of a quarterback search.
It was,
because
6 years?
you draft a quarterback. Quincy Carter, what we give him 3 years? So outside of that, you want another 3 years to find Romo? That's not a bad quarterback search. If you draft a quarterback next year, you're going to try to develop it for 2 to 3 years before you move on. And then you're going to draft another one and try for 2 to 3 years. You don't just keep drafting quarterbacks or otherwise you look like Cleveland.
Right. I mean, look at the
Denver.
Look at the Denver Broncos. It took them 9 years to find Bo Nix, and then look at what happened. They would have been in the Super Bowl last year.
Look at the Patriots.
Yeah.
The Patriots drafted 2, 3 quarterbacks? Not including Mike White and all of those the fucking ones at the back end of the roster that had 1 or 2 games. But they tried with 2 quarterbacks and they got successful on the second one. Already back into the fucking Super Bowl. You have to and if we are at a losing record by the trade deadline, and it is clear that this season is not it, we have to be sellers. Everybody with a jersey on this team should be tradable. You have to realize that, look, we are no longer in the competing part of our team. We have to tear down and rebuild. And that was the mistake last year that they did. They thought they traded for Quentin Williams. And I like Quentin Williams. However, they should have been sellers instead of buyers at that time. They should have been looking to see what players we have on the stage. Does anybody want to give us a 4th round for Steele? How much will you give us for Amazi? How much will you give us for Osa? How much will you give us for Kenneth Murray, who's not a real football player?
Malik Hooker.
Malik Hooker, all of them. You should have been trying to shop this shit out instead of trying to hold on to Dallas Cowboy hope so you can fill the stadium up for the next 8 to 9 weeks. Instead, you should have been selling shit so that you went into this draft with a new defensive coordinator and he had to pick of the litter to move anywhere up and down the draft he wanted to get the talent. Because then maybe you could have got a Sonny Styles that is used to playing used to playing in front of a Caleb Downs. Now, can you bring both of them onto the team? If you would have been trading, maybe you could have traded away next year's one that you gave for Quentin Williams. You could have traded it this year to move up to get Sonny Styles or Arvell Reese.
You could have drafted a quarterback with that pick too,
I
potentially.
don't think there was a good quarterback really worth drafting in this one. I think next year's slate is
That's
better.
why. That's why I meant because we traded Quinn Williams that
Oh,
next year's
I
first
see
round
what you're
pick. You
saying.
know what I'm
You
saying?
next year,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. But you could have they are so scared to say that they're rebuilding. You're rebuilding. You changed your head coach / offensive coordinator. You just hired a new defensive coordinator. You changed 13 people on the defense, 6 new starters. You're rebuilding. Like it or not, it's a rebuild. Just because Dak Prescott is still your quarterback doesn't mean you don't rebuild. Tom Brady won multiple Super Bowls, and then they had to rebuild around Tom Brady. I think they missed the playoffs for like, what, 8 years straight or something like that? Or didn't go to the championship game for 8 years straight. And then they came back after they rebuilt, and he won again. There was a lull that people forget inside of Brady's Super Bowl. There was a gap where he didn't win Super Bowls.
2004 to what was it? 2000. It was a long time actually. It
It
was
was a long
almost
time.
a
I think it was like
decade.
10
It
years
was like
almost or
10
something like
years.
that. Yeah. But
Yeah,
they had
because
to
04. Yeah.
they had to rebuild around that team. And so what Bill Belichick did was he looked at the veterans and he decided, all right, I can trade him. I can trade him. I can get something for him. I can get something for him. I think he went into one draft for like 18 draft picks or something like that. He's moving all around the draft, making picks. And they
Right. But see,
slowly
yeah.
rebuilt that team.
Yeah, I think what everything you're saying is 100% true, but that's the problem with Jerry Jones. He wants to play it safe. He's like Hollywood. I compare him to Hollywood. Hollywood wants to play it safe. They won't take risks like all these other teams are taking risks. That's why they're successful, whether it's good or bad. The Cowboys, they don't take risks. I mean, even that time period, the only quarterback we drafted was Quincy Carter. Everybody else we started were guys that were washed up
Yeah,
at the
Romo
end of
was
their
undrafted.
careers. Right. Or undrafted free agents. And look how many before Romo we had. We had Clint Stoner. We had Anthony Wright. We had all these other guys before, and then Vinny Testaverde, who was at the end of his career.
Drew
Drew
Bledsoe.
Bledsoe. And Drew
Drew
Bledsoe
Henson.
really wasn't bad. I mean,
Drew
he went
Henson, who thought he
9-7.
was going to play baseball. He didn't even know whether he wanted to play baseball or football.
Yep.
Right. So they didn't invest any real draft capital. I mean, Drew Henson was what, a 6th round pick? I mean, most 6th round picks don't become starters. Not everybody's Tom Brady.
They rarely make a team.
So the Cowboys they haven't taken risks in a long time when it comes to the quarterback position. They're afraid, like you said, to rebuild, but they are in rebuild mode. I mean, another team, the Chiefs, are in rebuild mode too. That's another team that has won recently that's, trying to rebuild. The Chiefs are not what they were just a couple of years ago. We saw they kind of took a little bit of a dip last year, and Patrick Mahomes is going to be hurt. So they're rebuilding too. But the Cowboys, they don't want to accept that, like you said. They don't want to accept the fact that it's a rebuild. But like most teams have a 3 to 5 year window where they are decent and then they got to rebuild and retool. And for whatever reason, I don't know what Jerry Jones's problem is, but he just refuses to rebuild.
It's because Jerry Jones, this is different. This is why you don't hear from most owners. Sometimes you hear from the GMs and you mostly hear from the coaches. It's because Jerry Jones is a businessman. And for businessmen, you're always selling your product as if it's the greatest thing. That is so when I started my business, I was talking to a potential new client, and she thought I was been in business for 10 years because I talked about my business like I was in business for 10 years. So Jerry Jones has to talk about the Cowboys as if they're in that compete mode because that's what's going to drive the fans. That's what's going to put the butts in the seats. Jerry Jones needs you in the stadium 8 to 9 times a year, and he needs you buying beer, nachos, hot dogs, or whatever for 4 full quarters. That's why he don't want to win a game 13-9. He wants to lose the game 40-35 because then people are up cheering and happy and up and down and cheering and all that stuff. versus sitting on their hands watching field goals go in the whole time and the stadium is quiet. He wants them up cheering and yelling and screaming and buying beers and all of that stuff for 4 full quarters. At the end of the game, he don't care. I guarantee you what he does is he goes to a computer to see what the total revenue for the day was. He's not losing sleep. He go put gas in his fucking helicopter and fly home. Until that shit changes with him, nothing will change.
Well, see, he's doing the right thing in terms of being an owner, but the problem is he's the general manager too.
Yeah.
So they overlap.
But I also give Jerry credit. He has put talent on this team several times. Several times he has gone out there and put talent.
That's
Somebody
fair.
on fifth string, was it yesterday or Monday? No, I think it was Tuesday. But on fifth string, somebody said that, do we win the Super Bowl if Patrick Mahomes was on our team during any years Dak Prescott was here? And we all was like 21, 22, 23, absolutely. You might get 3 or 4 out of it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
2016, man. Look what Patrick Mahomes took, one of the worst defenses in the NFL in 2018 to the championship.
Sure did.
Yeah. And a lot of what I hear is, man, names Patrick Mahomes never had the talent that Dallas had or something like that. And I'm like, well, name a position group that would name the 2 wide receivers that Patrick Mahomes threw to that was better than CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens.
Or Amari Cooper.
Because he won the Super Bowl with fucking Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah, he didn't win it with he won it without what's his name? Hill.
Travis Kelce. He won 2 Super Bowls with his lead.
He won with a tight end. And nobody's at wide receiver. They gotta wake the fuck up, man.
I mean, look at Josh Allen. I know Josh Allen's a choker, but he's taken the Bills to the deep in the playoffs how many times? And who's been his best receiver?
He had no wide receivers last year. None. His head coach got fired because of the wide receiver that they drafted. The owner and the GM didn't like the wide receiver that they drafted. Obviously, it was the head coach's pick, because that was what they mentioned in the termination press conference. It's a damn shame. Like, anytime they say, well, has Patrick Mahomes had a better defense than the 2021 Dallas Cowboy defense?
No.
I don't think so. I mean, the Chiefs' defenses have never really been great.
And Patrick Mahomes won with Dallas Cowboy castoffs.
In 2023,
Anthony Hitchens, Morris Claiborne.
2021, the Cowboys held the Niners to 23 points. Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City defense held them to 22 points, and Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl. So we held them to 23, and they held them to 22. But our defense wasn't good enough.
This basically is the same.
Right.
We've had the talent. The problem is 2 things. Our star players play worse in big moments, and our role players don't step up at all. Nobody steps up, and it's like this team needs a spark. Nobody steps up and creates that spark. Micah Parsons in that 2023 Green Bay game needed to be a fucking wrecking ball. And he recorded 0 stats.
He didn't do shit.
Dak
Prescott didn't do nothing. Yeah.
Dak Prescott, and I pushed back. The defense tried to hold the team. They went down and they gave up the opening touchdown. Dak Prescott went 3 and out, I believe. The defense then forced a punt.
Yep.
The next drive, Dak Prescott threw a pick.
Yep.
And they got the ball back at like the 19 yards. And then you expected the defense to defend 19 yards after just holding the team to a punt. It's not easy. to defend
No,
19
especially
yards because the entire playbook is open.
yeah.
And then he goes out
And the
there a
moment,
couple
yeah,
drives later and throws the pick six. And it was what,
yeah,
24-0?
Yeah.
yeah. It was 27-7 at the halftime, and I think if I'm not mistaken, how much did Dak only have like 60 or 70 yards passing? The
By
first half, he
halftime?
was pretty. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
everybody was saying how great Dak played. I'm like, Dak only had like 60 or 70 yards the first half. He was pretty bad
Nah,
that first half.
Green Bay pulled the game was so over. Green Bay pulled their starters. And then Dak Prescott started throwing the ball all over the field. And Green Bay was contemplating putting their starters back in. But how many football games do you watch where an NFL team pulls their starters in a playoff game?
Yeah.
Few and far between.
I don't think I've
Getting ready
ever
for
seen
the
it.
week after. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen it before that. They literally were out there playing premium defense for the entire fourth quarter. That's how bad of an ass whooping it was.
Yeah. It was a massacre. Yeah.
And see, people tend to have selective memory where they like, man, give Dak that type of defense, man, he'd kill. He had those type of defenses. Stop having amnesia. Stop only focusing on last year. Last year, the defense was bad.
Right.
But
Yeah,
a
and
couple
I
years,
wanted to
a
call
couple
this
years
out.
before
Yeah,
that, it wasn't.
no, and I wanted to call this out because I saw a post on Facebook the other day. Man, and I'm sorry, but I got to call out Law Nation for this one. Law Nation entirely blamed the defense. Look at his post. Look at his post. He
saw
said,
that.
Yeah.
"Well, he left
Yo,
Tucker
yo,
Kraft wide open." He doesn't
Yo,
mention the fact that Dak had a pick six, 2 interceptions, and only had 60 yards passing in the first half. I understand the defense was bad against Green Bay, but did your quarterback that you like to hype up and say that's elite, what did he do in that game, Law Nation? Because last time I checked, he had 2 picks and 60 yards passing. So he didn't
Right.
do it. He didn't do a damn thing to help his.
he's never
At,
going to
at
No.
that
badmouth.
post, yeah,
He's never going to badmouth Dak Prescott because those guys are doing this for access.
Yeah.
They want access. They want to be able to watch. They want to be able to go to the games. They want to be able to go to the fucking banquets and all of these fan
Yep.
events and all of that shit. They want access to these players because having access to these players gets them more followers, which generates them more revenue on YouTube.
Yep.
That is what it's
And
all about.
yeah,
It's
well, and you
about
see it
views and
also.
clicks.
You see it also on when everything he posts. That's what he's posting it for.
That is why Mark Holmes sits up there and makes 9 videos a day, and Law Nation gets up there and spews the same bullshit that he knows is a fucking lie every single day. Vox Lombardi got you paying to watch film breakdowns that don't help no fucking body.
Right.
If you so smart and you could break down film and you could tell everything was wrong, go fucking talk to your boys at Dallas and get them motherfuckers on track.
Right.
This shit don't. I'm like 80. This shit don't win you fucking Super Bowl. Stop following for these motherfuckers, man. They selling you bullshit. It's Jim Jones Kool-Aid, man.
Yep.
Every year the same shit. These motherfuckers sit up there at the end of the season and act like they all pissed off, and they do the end of the season video where everybody call in and fucking bitch and complain about the season, and then 2 weeks before the draft, everybody's all rainbows and fucking unicorns again. Excited
Right.
for next year because these motherfuckers got an email from Jerry Jones about the talking points for the next fucking season.
and isn't it funny that they always blame all Jerry Jones has done is kind of give them what they wanted, and then they bitch and complain about him. But
Right.
you know,
Jerry Jones is a fan pleaser. That's what he does. He listens to what the fan. He's always fixing last year problems this year. Every single time. Now they want to work on the defense. You should have worked on that shit last year. When Sports
Right.
Junkie was on Fifth Show, I got a clip. I'm going to send it to JB. He can play it on the next show if he wants to. I said, this is a fucking setup. They want to give everything to Dak Prescott so they can say this defense sucks, so they can blame the defense instead of blaming the real problem on this team is Dak Prescott.
Right.
I got a clip when
Yeah.
they were talking about fucking Pickens and fuck them picks to try to move up in the draft and take wide receivers. This is a fucking setup. They will give Dak Prescott everything. And we know the best weapon you can give Dak Prescott is a good defense. So when he fucks up, they hold him to 3 or they get the ball back.
Right.
I would agree. I would say that in a running game, but they already gave Dak the running game. So, because nobody wants to talk about how much of a beast Javonte Williams was. It's so funny. They were all trashing
Well, he's
Javonte
still a
Williams, saying,
beast.
"Oh,
He's still a beast now. He's still a beast.
He all right.
oh yeah, I know." But they were
He
trashing Javonte
all right.
Williams, man.
He all right, man. He had his moments last year. And
He ain't.
we
We really ain't seen his potential though. He only played a couple seasons at Denver, didn't he?
stay hurt. That's his fault. Well,
was
I ain't gonna say all the injuries are his fault, but in the end, you got to stay healthy. You got to figure out how to stay healthy, whether that's getting down early, getting out of bounds, or whatever, or changing the way you train. You got to figure out how to get healthy. You got to figure out how to stay healthy because it doesn't matter if you can have the talent of Barry Sanders. Bo Jackson was one of the greatest running backs to ever run, but he got hurt. It don't mean shit if you can't play. And so his track record says that he's probably not gonna make it through another season. But even then, everybody's hyping up 1,000 yards. That's what, 67 yards a game? That's not that fucking outstanding. I want my running back in a 17-game season to be somewhere around 1,400, 1,500 yards.
Well, in his defense, he only played 16 games, and they also, like I was saying earlier, they stopped running the ball with him a lot when they should have stuck with it.
Yeah.
So that's my defense of him.
That means he has to go over there and put his big boy pants on and be an advocate for himself and get on Shotty's ass. Yo, give me the ball. Feed me.
Yep. And don't be scared.
Feed me. Do you see what I'm doing to these boys? I'm running it down their fucking throat. Feed me. You gotta be. Dak Prescott is not the leader that people think. They gotta get up there. You gotta get up there and advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
Do you want to win or do you just want to play football? Because that's why people didn't like T.O. That's why people had a problem with Chad and Joe Horn and and Steve Smith. Those dudes wanted the ball.
That's
and
right.
T.O. and people talk all that shit. T.O. wanted to win. That's all the fuck he wanted to do was win. And if we was losing, he get me the ball so we can win.
Wouldn't you say Dez was kind of the same way?
Who?
Dez Bryant. Not quite as aggressive, but
hey, T.O. was so aggressive. He even rehabbed off the hook constantly for fucking a whole week before the Super Bowl to try to get back from a broken fibula.
He was sleeping.
That's how dedicated he was.
Chamber. He was sleeping in a hyperbaric chamber.
Mm-hmm.
So he can get back on the field.
T.O. was. You got to give T.O. his props, like you said, man, because that guy did everything he could to stay in shape. Like he was like, what sucks is, man, his only big problem was that he just had too much to say and he wanted the ball. But at least he wasn't out there getting drunk and doing stupid stuff. He was actually taking care of himself and getting and training.
Anytime you look at T.O. and he was going off on the sidelines, I bet you they was fucking losing that game.
Right.
I bet you he wasn't doing no A.J. Brown shit where they on the road to a fucking Super Bowl and he's still pouting.
Nope.
T.O. wanted to fucking win.
That sucks because he did enough.
T.O. got up there after a playoff game and lost and cried in front of America and said, "That's my fucking quarterback." Lip quivering and all.
Everything.
That man was hurt. He wanted to fucking win.
Yep. It's not.
Yeah, because I remember he tore his high ankle sprain against Carolina. I remember that. Yeah.
Roy Williams broke his leg.
Right.
Yeah, that was in 2004, but when he played against Carolina or the Giants in 2007, he was only 75% healthy because he had a high ankle sprain. What was it, 3-4 weeks before? It was like,
hey JB, I'm out. Y'all have a good night, Censored and young fella. Y'all have a good night, man. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow.
Sir.
Hey, God bless everybody. Peace.
Hey, Blaze is 100% correct in the chat. Skip Bayless created a lot of the nonsense around T.O. He absolutely did. And that shit
he also
just
called he also thought that Troy Aikman was gay, which
he said some bull.
which got him kicked out of the Dallas locker room. But it's the
Which
same
is
thing with
BS,
Shannon
but
Sharp. Shannon Sharp, see, Dak Prescott, when he came into the league, he was playing smart. They were running the ball. Dak Prescott took what the defense gave him, not trying to fucking put up all these crazy stats. And what he had, 25 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 13-3 record,
yeah.
lost in the playoff. I get it. And see, what he did was they listened to fucking Shannon Sharp talking about Deacon and Dakin and shit like that. And then they tried to make him something that he wasn't. And what happened is when he got hurt,
Yeah,
they brought in Cooper Rush. And Cooper Rush played the quote-unquote Deacon and Dakin football, and they won.
that's been the biggest problem. Yeah.
That's always been the formula. But people was like, well, Dak Prescott's a better Dak Prescott can put you up more points, but he's going to lose you more games because that style of play comes with more risk involved in it.
And he's not a gunslinger.
I would rather have the 2016, 2017 Dak Prescott, the Cooper Rush substitution games.
Yeah.
I would rather have those because
Yeah.
it slowed the game down and it was less mistakes and the defense didn't have to cover shorter fields, which let them win games.
Yeah.
Cooper Rush has a winning record for Dallas.
9-5. He's 9-5.
Cooper Rush won the same game Dallas that Dak Prescott was winning. It wasn't some magical formula. The problem was that everybody wanted Dak Prescott to be the fantasy quarterback and chase the MVP. When I want Sam Darnold, just win me a fucking Super Bowl. Don't be flashy. Just don't fuck it up. Let the defense do what they're supposed to do. Yep. Don't make the mistakes.
That's
what Joe Flacco was. That's what Joe Flacco was for the Baltimore Ravens. And in the playoffs, he lit it up. But it was just like, don't fuck it up.
Because it's this shit that they believe that Dak Prescott is this the elite quarterback, man. That he can sling it with this.
And that motherfucker believes that shit now. He personally believes.
He believes that.
He believes he's those quarterbacks. He believes he can throw the ball like a Josh Allen. He believes he can play like a Patrick Mahomes. He believes that shit.
Yeah.
It's because of all the fan base. And that Nate Dogg comment saying that Vosh Lombardi was upset when the Cowboys were 5-1. Yeah, I remember that, man. They were pissed. They were saying, defense was winning all those games. Meanwhile, the Cowboys beat the Bengals and the Giants, 2 playoff teams that went past the first round, right? And they beat them. Oh, and they didn't beat the Giants when they were missing 6 or 7 starters like Dak did. They beat them healthy and at home. And they also they should have beaten the Bengals by more than 3 points. Dalton Schultz made that game close because he fumbled inside the field goal range. But Cowboys should have beaten them. So, but yeah, I agree, man. I mean, Dak's best attribute, if he would have played dink and dunk Dak back in 2022 against the 49ers, he would have gone to the championship game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's all he had to do.
Hey, I don't know if y'all I don't know if you can even do it right now, JB, but Nate Dogg got a clip. And if he's in the chat, maybe he can post it. Nate Dogg got a clip of Dak Prescott, I think of last season. If you play it, tell me what side of the field all his interceptions are on. Dak Prescott cannot throw over his left shoulder. He throws picks on the left side of the field all the fucking time. The same exact picks. Go back and watch Dak Prescott interceptions. People have broken them down. Watch what side of the field the majority of them are on. They're over his left shoulder. He backs up. He looks over his right. He turns to the left. He cannot see the trailing defenders at all. He throws picks all the fucking time. And because he struggles to lead receivers, they have to stop. The defenders come in and catch, just like that pick in the playoff game in 2023 when Brandon Cooks got manhandled for that fucking ball. It's because he had to stop his route to catch the ball. Brandon Cooks had made the break. The ball should have been on him already. He had to stop for Dak Prescott ball, and then the defender ran into him and took the ball right out of his pocket. He does not lead his receivers a lot. A lot of the times, go back and watch Pickett's best catches. He got to stop, and then he's jumping up in the defenders and everything to catch his ball.
Shit, just like CD in 2022 against the Niners in that playoff game. That would have been a touchdown if Dak would have led him, right? He had to slow down. That's how he even got the penalty. He had to
Yep.
stop really to catch the ball.
They do it all the time with Dak Prescott, man. He don't lead his receivers very often. He's got a couple here and there, but that was his problem with Tavon Austin. He couldn't lead the dude. Tavon Austin had way too much fucking speed.
He could not connect with him for nothing. He was the only
He
quarterback
he couldn't time the speed.
he played with. He could not connect with Cooks for nothing.
And Tavon Austin and Brandon Cooks were fast, and probably if you did a 7-step drop and you chucked it down the field as far as you could throw it, you probably couldn't overthrow him. But Dak Prescott, he just couldn't hit him. He had no timing with him.
How those other quarterbacks had that timing with Cooks, but Dak couldn't since he's so
better
elite?
quarterbacks, just better quarterbacks.
Mm.
You know, it sucks that people tend to put on blinders at the failure of this team. There's always somebody else you can blame. It's never just Dak Prescott's fault. I've never said that. In 2021, you had a shit ton of penalties. Dak threw fucking picks at the same time. But Dak Prescott interception in the second half led to 7 points, which was the only points that the 49ers scored in that second half. And even with all of those penalties, it was still a one-drive game, a one-possession game. So the defense, even with all those penalties, they still kept you in that game.
Yep.
So it's never just one thing. The Green Bay game, bad defense. But that defense in the beginning, they got to stop to get Dak Prescott the ball back. Dak put the defense in a bad situation, and then he threw a pick six. So
They don't attribute none of the Dak's bad play to the downfall of this team. And I'm like, if this is a team game, why does he get any blame when we lose then if it's a team game? You can't.
But if you do corner them in on a game, like that Vikings game that you was talking about earlier, what they'll say is, well, I can't excuse that, but what about this game? No, we're talking about this game. The game that he said him and Shitty studied all week for, knew exactly what they were going to see, and couldn't beat it. How come the shitty coach and the shitty quarterback couldn't figure out with a 10-year vet how to beat zero coverage?
Boy.
And now they expect Little Parky to come in here and completely change his defense around under the leadership of Shitty. It ain't gonna happen.
Nope.
But
and this,
I hear you playing the Oscar music. I know that's about time for you to cash out.
Yeah, I'm about to get up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. But I'm gonna end with this point real quick though, sis, and I appreciate you, man. This is the exact reason why I went on this live. I was gonna make a video, but I said, man, I need to go live about this because to me, this shows where we really are as an offense with Schottenheimer and Dak Prescott going into his 11th season. There should be no excuses for the way they praise this guy and praise Schottenheimer. When these two guys on the screen, Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts played the same defense, and Jalen Hurts massacred that defense. And Dak Prescott still struggling as we speak right now against that Vikings defense.
Yep.
That's really, I mean, that's showing you the level of really the intelligence in playing the position of quarterback between these two guys. They can say Dak Prescott throw the ball better, but other than that, he don't do shit better to me as a quarterback compared to Jalen Hurts, especially when coming from playing, you know what I'm saying, from having the heart and the mental fortitude to play that position. Dak Prescott is not on this guy's level, bro.
Well, and I would say this: when you're trying to compare quarterback to quarterback, it's kind of hard because they're not the same style of quarterbacks. But every quarterback, no matter what style you have, is going to come up against adversity. There's a defense for every style of quarterback.
Right.
What does your quarterback do when that adversity is in front of him to overcome it? Jalen Hurts is not a very good passer, but when the time calls for him to pass, that dude has proven time and time again that he can sling the ball when needed. When they stopped that running game against the Vikings, he slung the ball. The Kansas City Chiefs shut down Saquon Barkley, he slung the ball. Now it might not be the prettiest throw. It
Right.
might not be the most accurate throw.
But
It's not a Dan Marino, or John Elway 60-yard bomb down the field, but he do what he need to do, and that's all we ask. I don't need Dak Prescott to sit out there and try to be hero ball. Man, just make the smart read, smart play, set your feet, throw the ball accurately. Stop throwing it at CeeDee Lamb's feet or into the bleachers. That's all. I just want you to play within your skill set. Stop
Mhm.
listening to the noise. Stop trying to be something that you're not. You're not Patrick Mahomes. You're not Josh Allen. You're not Joe Burrow.
you're not
Stop
Tom
trying.
Brady.
Stop
You're
trying to
not
be
Drew
those
Brees.
guys. Stop trying to be those guys. And he said the same shit Tony Romo said. Remember what Tony Romo said to Tom Brady after a preseason game? We'll see you in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Dak Prescott tell the Rams, we'll see you in the NFC Championship game?
He told Tom Brady that same shit too, though. We'll see you next year in the championship game. He said something like that, or the Super Bowl, something. He said that shit.
It's Groundhog Day for this fucking team. It's just nonstop because I honestly think that they have a secret room called Cowboy U. It's Cowboy University. Well, when you go in there, you come out and you just become a robot with talking points. And you just say regurgitate the same shit. Because jump off the train if you want to sounds a whole lot like when Tony Romo lost a playoff game and got on TV and said, if losing a playoff game is the worst thing that ever happened to me, I've had a pretty good life.
Mm.
They don't care about winning. It's not about winning. And they got Christian Parker out there spewing the same nonsense. Shotty's out there saying the same shit about Super Bowls and people wanting our coaches and all of this stuff. And that's the same shit Dak Prescott was basically saying at that fucking charity event after the Eagles won.
Yeah.
Because they know if you talk Super Bowls in Dallas, you're gonna make headlines. You're gonna get these YouTubers to start talking about it. It's gonna gas them up. Pre-sales are gonna go up. The attendance is gonna go up. Sales is gonna go up. It's the same shit. They know the words to say for Cowboy fans to get their maxi pads soaked. and they fall for the shit every single fucking year, man. Like we weren't one of the worst teams in the league last year.
Man, the last 2 years.
And then they sit up there and they act like we got a bunch of unknowns, man. We got a whole new defense. We got old guys that we brought in. I'm telling you right now, y'all gonna scream a lot at the T at Jalen Thompson. He was not good in Arizona. If y'all thought Donovan Wilson was bad, Donovan Wilson and Jalen Thompson are the exact same fucking players.
Oh shit.
Go look up their stats. Go look up the passer rating that they allowed. I think Donovan Wilson allowed 120 passer rating or some shit like that, maybe 114. And I think Jalen Thompson was like 104. Whoop the fucking dude. That's like 1 or 2 pass difference. They were the exact same guys. But you signed this guy to 4 years.
No, we stole him. You heard that?
You ain't stole shit.
We stole him.
Didn't nobody want him. What big name was available in free agency? Not talking about trades, but what big name got signed to free agency?
At the cornerback position or safety position?
Period. Like a bona fide stud, like, oh my God, I can't believe he was even available. Like a Saquon Barkley.
You got me.
Like a Derrick Henry. Those are big names like, Jesus, Saquon Barkley's up for grabs type shit. There wasn't any because good teams don't let their good players out the building. They don't even touch free agency. They sign them early. They lock them in. They don't let them hit. So if Jalen Thompson is this also great safety on a struggling Cardinals team, you trade a player like that. You don't just let him walk in free agency. You try to get something for him before he fucking leaves.
And that's
So
what
if
they
a,
did too.
so if a team is ass and they want to get and they're willing to let a player walk, they think that player is ass. And Arizona Cardinal defense was bad, and he's part of the reason why he's bad.
And
Why
they
they were
beat,
bad.
damn, they beat us.
Because if you want to say that Jalen Thompson played bad because he was on a bad defense, okay, I'll give you that. But then you can't shit on Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker
True.
because they were on a bad defense too. You got to
True.
keep the shit consistent. If you're
Yep.
going to say safety play equates is due to a bad defense, then you got to give the same grace to Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker. But it's not consistent, and that's what I ask for, man. I'm always bringing that back. Don't change your argument because it's your team. Because would you accept this? Would you be talking shit about another quarterback if he was 2-5 in the playoffs? If
Mm-hmm.
Dak Prescott
Yep.
played for the Los Angeles Chargers, and we was talking about trading for him right now, you'd be like, man, this dude ain't won shit. Why are we trading for Dak Prescott? He's 2-5 in the playoffs. He
Right.
choked. He throw big interceptions in big games. That's what would be the narrative if we
Yep.
were talking about going to get him. Because I'm telling you right now, if we would have went into 2024 and somebody would have told us we're gonna trade Dak Prescott straight up for Sam Darnold, everybody would have lost their fucking mind. Everybody would have lost their fucking mind. But then 2 years after that, Sam Darnold's winning the fucking Super Bowl.
Hey man, I'm either go live or make a video about this one instance. And I don't know. I'm just throwing this out there, saying this a little bit though. But the thought or trading like what trading quarterback for quarterback like what McVay did with Goff and Stafford.
Yeah, but who
Whoa.
wants Dak Prescott? Right now, what team would trade you?
The Bengals.
They wouldn't do it.
You don't think they would do it?
Absolutely fucking not. Joe Burrow is a
Oh, he's
significantly better quarterback.
He's the number one. He's the number one clutch quarterback. He's top 5 elite, second team All Pro, run up to MVP, number 6
Joe
top 10
Burrow?
on quarterback, even over Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow's the clutch quarterback because he's been to a Super Bowl.
Oh no, Dak Prescott number one clutch
Oh, the
quarterback.
one that didn't go to a Super Bowl. Oh, okay. I like people that play in Super Bowls. So, but if I'm the Cincinnati Bengals, why would I want a quarterback that's older than the quarterback that I have, and hasn't shown that he's capable? Look, Joe Burrow is one drive away from being a Super Bowl champion. If Aaron Donald is not on the Los Angeles Rams, Joe Burrow is a Super Bowl champion. The problem is Aaron Donald just completely took over the end of that fourth quarter. And he was unblockable and they couldn't do nothing. Because by the time he got the snap, Aaron Donald was 2 feet in front of him. So it would be crazy. See, what happened is the Detroit Lions traded an old quarterback
for
a younger quarterback for them. So it wouldn't make sense for us to send an old quarterback that's probably retired in the next 3 years to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Man, but Dak is top 5 elite on Cincinnati.
If the Bengals are dumb enough to fall for it, you make that trade 7 days a week. If they dumb enough to fall for that shit, 7 days a week, and I would instantly add 4.
We can sell him.
I would add 4 games to my 5-game wins. I would think that you can instantly get 9. Because Joe Burrow's going to be behind a better offensive line. He's not going to get injured as much.
Nope. He know how to you know what I'm saying? As a quarterback, read the pocket, know how to, maneuver around the pocket.
Well, he took a worse offensive line to the Super Bowl.
Sure did.
That was a worse offense and a worse defense. Which just proves the point that you don't need a number 1 offense and a number 1 defense to get to the Super Bowl. You need confident quarterback play and a decent defense. Number one defense in the league last year, I believe, was the Texans. And they had an incompetent quarterback so it didn't even matter.
Man, I
I
was
cannot believe he played that bad.
I'm shocked too, bro. I'm like, the way CJ Stroud played in them playoffs, I was like, damn, I didn't
But
expect that.
the Houston Texans have to make a decision. If this dude is going to be able to handle the big moments that are required to win in this league, and if not, they're going to have to let his ass walk.
Like, they're gonna have to decide quickly.
Yes, they go. I think this is his money year right now.
Yeah.
You got to figure out whether or not this dude you're going to have to pay him $70 million a year. $70 million is going to be the going rate for him. And you have to understand whether or not your defense is the reason you're winning games or CJ Stroud is. And that's what Dallas has struggled with. Too many times they credited Dak Prescott when it's been the pieces around him that have helped him win.
Yeah, I see you on that point. Yep. That's facts.
But Dak Prescott being anywhere near the top 10 is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I put him like 14, 15, man. 16.
I got him about 14, 15.
Yep.
My formula ain't exactly just straight up what guys are doing right now. It's what I see, where their arc is in their career. Dak Prescott is on the back end. You're not going to get better than 2023 Dak Prescott.
Nope.
You're not. It's not going to happen with CD either. 1,700 yards is CD Lamb's apex.
And he was hurt last year too.
And he's going to continue to be hurt because he's catching sky balls from Dak Prescott. And he's got a dumbass offensive coordinator that's got him playing running back.
Oh, shit.
That's a fireable offense, man.
That dude ran the same playback to him, man, after getting injured out like 3 to 4 games or some shit.
That is a fireable offense, man. Your $40 million wide receiver just missed games for a high ankle sprain, and you bring his ass back and you run the exact same fucking play. We've been trying to run wide receiver, jet sweep, end arounds forever. And it doesn't matter if it was Tony Romo and who the fucking wide receiver was. It has not worked at all as a dollar. We can't run screen passes anymore. We used to dominate that shit in the 90s.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the last time the Dallas Cowboys had an efficient screen pass.
Offense. In the offense, okay. I can think of the one screen play or
with Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, against Pittsburgh.
Against the Steelers right before the half. I remember that. But I was like, holy shit, a screen pass that worked. Like we don't have the athleticism on the offensive line that they can get out there and get in front of their blocks and screen and block. It doesn't happen. And I don't know if that's a Dak Prescott issue or if it's an athleticism issue on the offensive line or if it's a coaching issue or if it's just not taught, if it's not part of the playbook. I don't know.
Man, but we don't have the offensive mind.
You gotta have screen passes, man.
Man, we don't have the offensive mind. You know what I'm saying? To dig in that playbook to implement that shit. And,
well, and if you want to run against the Minnesota Vikings, who are going to run a lot of zero coverage and be that aggressive, that's when you run a screen pass. But you get that's like I watch, and I'm gonna go.
You hit him in the post. You ain't got no safeties back there.
But Caleb, you got to hit him in stride. That's the problem. But Caleb Williams and the Bears were struggling against the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers were running skies cover 3. They would change who dropped into the zone in cover 3, but they were running cover 3 for the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
And it took Ben Johnson an entire half to finally figure out what I've known since high school is that the way you beat a cover 3 is you overload one side of the field. You put 3 wide receivers over there, and you run levels on them, and then you run a guy with a deep post to pull the safety out. That's how you, and then you get in the back out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started running it in the second half. I'm like, finally. Like, what the hell was wrong? And they came back, they were down like 21 points. They came back just by running the same play. Because Green Bay wouldn't come out of their defense. They had figured, we're going to run cover 3 defense the entire game. and they just ran different views of it, but it's all cover three. Go back and watch the game. The second half, you're going to see a bunch of formations on the right and the left. And Caleb Williams just completely dog walked all the way down the field. To the point where they were like, they were telling the Bears not to score so fast. Because you had a confident head coach that was able to read the defense and make the changes up. Like, yeah, it took a while to understand what they were doing.
He figured it out, though.
He was able to figure it out.
Yeah.
He did that with a second-year player and a rookie head coach. And we couldn't do that with a senior vet.
Well, that's the issue I had with Schottenheimer and preseason when he first came the head coach, and that's why I kind of looked at this game right here, man, and want to put that out there. But yeah, Anselm said I appreciate you, bro, coming through.
No problem, no doubt, brother.
Yeah. Yes, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Fifth, for stopping by. OG. Yeah, man. Hey, Derek, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? My bad. I couldn't get you up here. We've been up here for like 2 hours. But I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Let me see if I can leave y'all with this.
Clarence Hill, dealerless Cowboys. What were they doing defensively? Just keep the lid on it and seem like frustrate your offense.
Yeah, the zero that we talked about just throughout the week gave it to us a bunch. We didn't have a good enough answer. And when you don't have a good enough answer for that, especially against Flores, you're going to see it again and again. And yeah, that's what happened. They did a great job of the back end, right, playing with vision. So it made it tough to get to the beaters, normal zero beaters when they're playing man, looking at the man, but they're looking at the quarterback. And so, they're going to rally when you throw it underneath, and you don't have time to get it past them. And they did a good job. They kept it on us, and we didn't adjust fast enough or come up with something good enough to scare them out of it. And we saw it the whole game.
You talked earlier this week.
Peace, y'all.